Okay, what's the number one reason you should try Instacart? Shopping over 1.5 million unique products from over 1,000 retailers and get everything delivered right to your door in as fast as 1 hour, all in one app. So you can spend more time with the ones who matter most. Visit instacart.com to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply.
Hey, football fans, Baldy here. And I'm doing something special for the year's NFL Draft. Jason Lockenfor and I are hosting the 2023 Odyssey NFL Draft Show. So join us on the first night of the draft, talking with local experts from our Odyssey podcast from across the country. And leading up to the draft, check out our podcast, In the Huddle. I'm going to give you the inside scoop on the best prospects for your favorite team. It all starts tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern on the free Odyssey app.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Daily. Our appreciation to Kevin Saal for jumping on the program, Wichita State Athletic Director. Hey, we've got some tickets to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 over at Boulevard Theater in Town West Square. We'll give away that right now. It's a Thursday, May 4th sneak peek of that flick. Jad will get us a winner to the IHOP hotline, 869-1240, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. First caller right now. We've got some Coheed and Cambria tickets to give away as well before the end of the program here. So plenty of opportunities to win cool prizes with us here on Sports Daily. Good stuff with Kevin Saal there, Paul. You know, let's talk about some hoops for a minute because we've talked about baseball and softball quite a bit. Sure. It's an interesting class coming together for Paul Mills. And I think there's a theme of players who have big-time pedigrees. The big Germany has been successful in college, elevating to a larger platform. A couple of the others have been, maybe the opportunity has wavered a little bit. And I'm excited to see them come in. And the elephant in the room is still Max Asmus. And he is not signed anywhere. And yes, the predictors have, basically penciled him either to Texas or to K-State, but the longer this lingers, the more it makes you wonder if Wichita State's still in play for Asmus. And I think that he probably is because he hasn't gone somewhere else yet, but there's a chance here with what's come and what may still come that Wichita State is a predictive top 2 to 3 team in the American next year. And I honestly, Paul, I think that's where they need to be.
Well, of course it's where they need to be. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. That's where we sure want them, and it sure makes sports talk radio easier to do when they're good rather than bad. And maybe that's where they're at. But, here's the thing. You and I are living in a world that we're still not sure of because there was a day when you and I could have broken down recruiting and we could have broken down to who's being recruited and who you want and who you don't. But everything is so different because you're probably a little like me, Jacob, and I'm going to just say that I'm still figuring out the portal thing, the NIL thing. All these things go hand in hand. I'm still trying to figure just exactly where they all fit in with each particular school, and every school is going to be different. And NIL is obviously playing a big part in where these kids go. And it makes, we don't know if kids will use Wichita State as sort of a hammer to bludgeon someone else, another team, for more NIL money. I don't have a handle on this yet. I'm assuming you probably don't have a handle quite on it yet. We'll figure it out one of these days. We will. But
it's changing. It's changing every year.
It is.
Yeah, because you've got, the portal rules have already changed.
Yeah.
You kind of get one now, which is probably going to do some settling. I think for Wichita State, if that happens now, and it very well could, if Wichita State is sort of a leverage place for now, I don't think it will be long-term. I think that long-term, Wichita State is going to be an NIL player. I think that for a lot of reasons. I think that, based on the things we're seeing, Kevin Saal has rallied a lot of the troops that need to be rallied to make Wichita State a relevant NIL player. I think that, we can probably put some faith in that continuing to happen based on what we've seen so far. I think that, making a change at head coach for the program is, something that will also support NIL just in the role the coach may take in that. And I think that gives you optimism for it. And I think you're seeing other things, right? An increase in softball facilities, a major investment there. Fred VanVleet coming to the table for a major weight room facility upgrade. Like, those are the kinds of things that are happening sort of subtly that make me think the troops are rallying to be effective in the NIL space. And the other reality is, we know that there is a group of Shocker fans that were able to pay a head coach out of the Valley in the top 5 nationally when Greg Marshall was extended, when Alabama got off a plane with a big old sack of money to try and lure him away. They were able to rally and do. So if they can do that, I think that they can absolutely become, and I'm not talking like players in the NIL realm, I'm talking about major players in the NIL realm, because they went from essentially nothing now to this, and I think we're seeing things that would make us just logically infer that that space is getting more fruitful for Wichita State. Now, is it there yet? That's the part I'm with you. I don't know that answer. I don't know where it is, like, where are they in comparison to XYZ? That part I don't know yet, but what I think we are seeing is they're getting there, right? And the progress is being made. So long term, I think that gives us hope. And again, here's this opportunity, and it's interesting with Max Asmus, a guy who played for Paul Mills for all those years, had success with him, who, predictive people thought that Wichita State was going to get him, and then those same people thought, nope, it's going to be Texas now, or maybe K-State, and yet here we are. And and Max Asmus still has not made his decision. And that just leads me to believe that if nothing else, Wichita State is relevant in that conversation, and that's important right now. And I think as we look to the future, it will become more important as Wichita State needs to get to that point. But I've been pleased with the players that have come in, through the portal so far. I don't think they're done. It's been a wide variety of players. They just brought in somebody from, at the NBA Academy in Africa. I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what caliber of players are playing over there at that academy, but it's a different avenue, and it's interesting, if nothing else, to me. And we'll see. What we don't quite know yet is, the high school piece of this, and that'll take a little time now. But I think it's a good start, and I think that they're not done. And I think when push comes to shove and the dust settles on this roster, it's going to be a roster that will be predicted in the top 3 in the league, I would imagine, and that sort of, to me, is the benchmark. And I look, I know preseason predictions don't mean very much, but it matters to relevance in the program because they haven't been predicted very well lately. So if they can get to that point with, FAU coming in, and we know they'll be predicted high, and we know Memphis will be predicted high, if they can get to that point, I think we'll feel pretty good about it.
Well, I think you're really onto something. I don't think there's any question about that. I like the way you're thinking, though, with Wichita State is that one school that is poised for, greatness in the AAC. And I think along with Memphis, I really think over the next few years, Wichita State and Memphis will probably be the 2 teams to beat. That's who it's going to end.
Well, they should be. Right.
Well, they should. Well, yeah, it's more than just they should be. They're actually poised to do it with the way Wichita State's able to recruit and put people in the stands and create that atmosphere, a nice-sized city, not too big, not too small. I mean, I like where Wichita State is poised for this particular league. I think it bodes well. And like I say, Memphis is going to be there. I mean, we just know because of who they can recruit, who they've got, who they can get to coach at Memphis. Memphis is going to be a team that's always going to be there, but I don't know why it can't be Wichita State. Now, will SMU make runs here or there? Sure. Will Tulsa get back on to where they've been in the past? It's possible. How about but you don't have Cincinnati? You don't have
FAU, North Texas. I know there's lots of teams, but Paul, we can look up and down that league all we want. The reality is Wichita State also, and I'm certain that this.
Yep.
I'm not worried that it's not happening, but Wichita State also needs to keep one eye open for what may lie ahead potentially to make a jump.
Right.
College conferences are, we're not done with the reshuffling yet, but I think we, in large part, will be within the next, I don't know, 3 years. So, Wichita State also has to keep one eye open to, I like this American League, this American Conference still as it currently stands, but will it look the same in 3 years? And if things go really well for Wichita State right out of the gates, is there maybe a bigger opportunity that they could get into?
Right.
And those things matter too. Look, it's a pipe dream, but when you've got the commissioner, Paul, of the Big 12 continuously talking about and rumor mills swirling of the Big 12 putting a major emphasis on basketball in the very near future, you have to imagine that as a possibility for Wichita State. And if you think that's crazy, we're about 10 years removed from the stretch for Wichita State of Final Four, undefeated regular season, paying the head coach, getting guys to the NBA consistently. If the Big 12 is really expanding that way in basketball, they absolutely would have been interested in Wichita State in its most recent prime, right? Of about 8 to 10 years ago. They would, I would think. So we know that that's out there, and whether it's a pipe dream and not possible, but it's still something to achieve for. And maybe the Big East then becomes, I don't know. And maybe the American is great still in 3 years, but that also looms right now for Wichita State. I think we're seeing the things we need to see to get to that place. Here's the other thing. We also know that women's basketball is becoming a major priority because of what we're seeing with the popularity of that tournament and that sport growing. It's not as, top heavy as it once was. Terry Nooner's got a chance here to reignite a fan base for women's basketball at Charles Koch Arena, which I think absolutely could happen if they start getting to a winning level. I really think that, this community will support women's basketball in the same way it supports softball right now, which is one of the great tickets on campus at the moment. So a lot of exciting opportunities. You got to still deliver, and we're sort of in that, in that realm right now where we're waiting, but exciting, I think, for both programs on the men's and women's side is absolutely fair. All right, let's give away our last giveaway here on the show as we go to break here. So congratulations to our movie ticket winners, to our WWE Raw ticket winners. Now let's send somebody to see Coheed and Cambria. A pair of tickets to the Cotillion next Friday. Is that next Friday? May 12th. That might be 2 Fridays from now. Either way, it's May 12th at 7 o'clock. Special guest Deaf Heaven. Coheed and Cambria will give away a pair of tickets as we go to break here. Jad will get us a winner there. Congratulations to all our winners today. Sports Daily coming right back.
We were young and had it all figured out. She was the quiet one and I had the mouth until